Good afternoon, all my vloggers and first-time viewers. Today I want to talk to you about dreams and reality. And this week I had the opportunity to have a short-term dream come true. As you know, through my other vlogs, I was not allowed to drive for 6 months, which is half a year, which felt like a year, and it was just awesome. Now, as they say, it's like driving a bicycle. Driving is like driving a bicycle, even though you haven't drive for 6 months, you don't forget how to do it. But back to the topic. Yesterday it was a chilly Western Cape morning, and while I was sitting on my bed, I remembered a series that I've watched when I was a child, and it is called Orkney Snorkney. It is Afrikaans series, and it's about a family that lives in Orkney, which is a place in South Africa, and they just down to earth, you know, this down to earth family with a grandpa and grandma, and you know, that come and go and visit, and the uncle and the kids and the mom, you know, that you can, there's so many things you can relate to. But it's one of those, when you watch it and it's and you understand Afrikaans, then you will, it's one of those feel good movies, series that you watch. And it's actually one of the series that I'm able to watch with my kids. So instead of watching another episode, I decided not to watch, so that I can leave that to watch it with my kids. Now, I can remember when I was young, that was our thing that we did. When Orkney Snorkney showed on TV, I think it was like in the early 90s, if I'm correct, late 80s, early 90s, I can't remember. It was one of those things that we watched with our parents, and sometimes when our grandparents visited, they watched it with us. So it was this, you know, it was this family thing. And I've always had this dream to stay close to my parents, so that my kids will have the opportunity to have a good relationship with their kids, with their grandparents. And like in the series, there is, you know, all these characters, and the ones that already left home, you know, they came to visit and they have dinner with their parents. And I just always thought that will be how it's going to be. And when we stayed in Pretoria, that was how it was. We at least saw my parents twice a month, and I mean that will be like, you know, when we're very busy and don't get to each other. But yeah. And then, crazy enough, I always thought that will be the way it will stay. And I'm very close to my sister, and we also spend a lot of time. And then when we moved to the Western Cape, reality kicks in, and I realized that my kids are not going to be able to see their grandparents that much. We're gonna have to phone each other a lot, do a lot of Skype or WhatsApp calls, And when we spend time together, we should really make it count. We should make extra effort to get to each other. And once we're together, we should really make every second count. We should have quality time. Not that we didn't have quality time, but quality time. And even though there's things that will irritate you or frustrate you, look past it. I mean, you see each other not that much. When you see each other, it should be a joyful, cheerful time. So I hope that all of you that stay in the same city as your parents and your kids in their grandparents, that you will make time to visit each other and to have quality time, because you're very fortunate to have it. And make every memory count. I also remember that we watched MacGyver, and I can remember that the MacGyver series was on a Friday evening, and when we were little, we stayed in Bloemfontein and my grandparents in Welkom. And later on we moved to Pretoria. But we will drive to them, and then we will drive, and once we get there, my grandmother had this stew made, or this curry and rice made. So it was this comfort food with this series that we all then watched together while eating our dinner. It was just memorable. And I really, really, really hope that you can have that memories with your kids and with your parents. It is truly a blessing to have it. And I miss it.